Hiya, I'm Rachel and I'm back, and today I'm going to talk about an herb that's new to me, and I'm just learning about her and getting introduced, and I hope to introduce you to her too, unless you may be already familiar with this plant. And the plant that I'm talking about is Bacopa. Bacopa monterey is its botanical name, and it's an Ayurvedic herb from East India, and it's been used for hundreds of years in the East Indian Ayurvedic healing tradition. And the name for it there is called Brahmi, and sometimes it's even called water hyssop. The reason it's called that is because it can grow underwater, and it's been used for aquariums. And so I certainly didn't get it around here. It's also a tropical plant, so it grows in very warm climates. And this herb I got fresh from an herb company in Oregon called Pacific Botanicals. And Pacific Botanicals, it's kind of an adventure when you get a fresh herb from an herb company, because you never know when they're going to be available, because it depends on the weather and the harvest time and how the plant's growing and a lot of other factors. So what you have to do is put your name on a list, and then they email you or call you when the herb is ready. And so I got an email over the weekend that they were going to harvest it on a Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, and it was sent by overnight air. So it came in this box with cold packs in it, and you can see the label says Bacopa monterey, and it's from Pacific Botanicals. And protect from heat, next day air, and it also somewhere here perishable. So they were very careful in how they packed it. When I found it on my stoop this morning, I put it in the refrigerator right away because I couldn't process it right then. But as you know, here it is. Here's a shot of 2 pounds of fresh herb that I now have. And just so you know, the main use for this plant is for mental clarity, to help you think straight and decrease anxiety and make it so that you're calm and clear and clear with your thoughts. That's one of its many uses. And I bought it to go into a mental clarity formula that I'm trying out. So this is fresh Bacopa. This is 2 pounds. And when this is processed, I showed you with fresh valerian root, it has to be chopped up, weighed, and put in a jar with alcohol in the right proportions. But I wanted to show you the fresh herb before that anything was done. So if you look at a close-up, this herb, here's the roots coming out from the bottom. It looks as though it creeps along on the ground or in the water or growing in a watery environment. This is a little wilted. This piece here is a little less wilted, but you can see the herbs the leaves are kind of leathery, and they feel like a succulent type of leaf. They're a little squeaky when you squeeze them in your fingers. And it looks to me like the leaves are alternate leaves, and some of them grow in threes coming out from the central part of the stem, and in some places they come out in pairs. And so that is the general way this herb grows. So what I'm going to do in a minute is chop it up, but first, before I chop it up, I want to weigh it. Because after this herb is chopped up and I take the roots off, you just want to use the aerial part, which is the stem and the leaves. And I take out the little pieces of grass and other pieces of plant matter that really isn't part of the herb. You know, here's some stuff that doesn't belong there. And I get that all sorted out. It's called garbling. Then I want to reweigh it. I'm just curious to see what I began with and to see what it weighs when I'm done and have it prepared for tincturing. Because only then will I know how much alcohol I need to put in it. So here's the scale. This is the male scale that I've used before. And I'm going to take a nice large bowl and put my bowl on here and zero the scale. Let's see. So the 0 is coming way down here at the red line because this is a very heavy stainless steel bowl and I don't want to weigh the bowl. So there it is. Line up the red line with, on the scale with 0. And so now I'm going to put my herb in here and see what it weighs. 12 ounces. I'm up to 20, almost 22. I don't think this is going to be 2 pounds. Is that right? Okay, let me see. Okay, there was 0. Guess what? It's down to the bottom of the scale, so that's not going to work. I have to do it in 2 parts. It didn't look right to me. Get it back. There's 0. Okay, that is 17 ounces. 17 ounces. Put it back in my box. So that's 17. Remember 17. Back to 0. And this is the rest of it. $17 at about 10 1/4. 17 and 10 1/4. 27 1/4. And so I don't have 2 pounds here. 16 ounces to a pound. And so it's less than that. So it's already lost some of its water content. So I'm going to take the herb, and I will start just a little bit here to chop it up. And so on. So I'll chop it up in small pieces like this. And when I get all finished doing this, I'll come back. We're going to pause for a minute, and then we'll reweigh the herb and see what we end up with. Thank you.